All right, we're live, and I'm here with my new BFF, Joe. How are you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you? How are you, David?
Good to see you. You can't see me, right? Because I had to adjust my OBS settings so I
I
could
don't see you.
stream.
I just see a young David.
You see a young me with my dark hair and my man bun there.
Yeah.
And I put on the screen, when you watch this back, if you watch it back, you'll see I've got an image of a famous, very famous Joe on as your avatar. Okay, so
Who's that?
Saint Joseph, the foster father of Jesus Christ.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's a cartoon image. It's a cute little image. Do you have dark hair and brown eyes and a big bushy beard?
No, I don't have a beard. I can't grow a beard.
Oh,
I do. I don't have hair either. Remember?
yeah, but you can buy all that from the costume shop, so no problem.
Yeah.
So how's it going? How did you discover my channel in the first place? How long you been watching or listening to my stuff?
Oh, actually, that's a good, interesting story. Well, not really interesting story, but I was watching one of your Dill Hunter, your atheist experience.
Oh,
It came up, and then I was like, I'd actually listened to your conversation. I don't know, before a long time ago. I can remember it, but I listened to it again because I remember, oh, this guy, he's kind of smart. He's so, and I listened to it again, and then I just went down and scrolled the comments, and they said, oh, this guy's got his name's CVS
right.
Catholic Churches. So he's got his own channel. I said, oh, okay, let me go look at that, and so that's how I came onto you. I didn't know you had a channel or anything.
Did you enjoy reading all the crazy comments on that atheist experience video?
Well,
A lot of comments.
That's how it is for every single atheist experience. Every single one. You go down and you watch. The first time I ever went to like the atheist experience, and I went and I read the comment section, I was like, "What's wrong with these people? They're all just saying the exact same thing. It's just like a gigantic echo chamber where they all just want to say, ah, look how smart I am. Look at how smart Matt is, and he just says so." It's just the same thing. Every single atheist show, every single thing, it's the exact same comments.
Not the most creative people. They're not the most free thinking people. That's the irony of it, right?
That is, they're dumb, but and they're just gonna say the exact same, no matter what. Even if you gave the greatest argument ever, they'd be like, "Oh, Matt's right." So it doesn't matter what he says.
So you sent me a link to or you didn't send me the link, but you told me how to find it, and I found your thing. I only listened to one little 2-minute thing full of expletives, and you were hot under the collar a little bit. It seemed like it.
Yeah. Well, how that conversation ended up, how I ended up there was I had called in to Talk Heathen before.
Okay.
And I had talked to, I was like asking them questions. And then I accused one of the hosts. I said, well, maybe you don't want God to exist. That's what I said that to him. And he got kind of offended. He told me, oh, that offends me. And I said, well, then I got kind of a little pissed at him. And I said, well, if that offends you, imagine how Dillahunty treats everybody. But you're not offended by that, And then I saw Dillahunty in the comments in the chat section. And he's saying, okay, this guy, first caller on Atheist Experience, if he has the courage to call in.
Oh.
So that's why I called him.
Oh, he challenged you. He threw down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard him say something to that effect in that video, but I wasn't sure. I thought that you were a long-time caller, like you'd been on the show a million times, like that Canadian Catholic guy. Like, do you know him, Canadian Catholic?
Yeah, I know. He's actually a pretty smart guy.
He's been on my podcast. You should listen to that one if you want.
I know. I listened a little bit.
Okay. People accuse me of being him, but we're very different. Our voices are different. Our approaches are different. Everything's different.
Yeah, you're very different. He's not even a bad guy. He's a smart guy. He knows philosophy. He's not a bad guy. But atheists, they'll just hate anybody if you go against Matt or.
Have you interacted with Canadian Catholic?
No, I mean I probably not personally. No.
you haven't been on any streams with him. Does he do streaming and stuff?
Yeah, I think he does.
So if you don't mind my asking, why do you keep your full name private and your face private? Why is that?
I just don't have any interest in being on the internet.
Oh, okay. Okay. It exposes you maybe to prying eyes, and people want to know your business. And
I don't think anybody's going to care, but I just don't have any interest on really being on the internet. So
yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. I know I've invited you multiple times to come on, and then we spoke privately and had a good conversation. And so I guess...
did you believe my story?
Yeah. But you said you're not going to share it with the public, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to share it with anybody.
Yeah, I believe until I have a reason not to believe. Like I told you, like I'm very open-minded, and a couple of your story has many little stories within it, and some of them were more shocking than others. And I'm not going to go into detail, and we shouldn't probably talk about it too much. Otherwise, people are going to be coming to me asking me, "Hey, David, what's the story? Tell me the story." But so we won't dwell on it. But I appreciate that you shared your story with me, and you feel a little bit shy to share your story because you think you might get laughed at, or the people won't believe you. And you told a couple of people that didn't believe you, and this sort of thing. But everyone's different, Joe. Everyone is different. Some people are open-minded. Some people are closed-minded. Some people are very skeptical in a good way, and some people are skeptical in a bad way. Like Matt Dillahunty is a good example of someone who's skeptical, but in a bad way.
Yeah. I just don't want. I'm not. It won't help me to tell the story. So
No.
I just need to tell somebody. You seem like just a good guy. So I thought I'd tell you. So
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you every day. And I didn't buy, but I enrolled you in a perpetual mass so that you're having the benefit of the graces of the mass that's being said for you every day. So that's a lot of graces from God coming your way. Did you want to talk a little bit about yourself, or would you rather just chit chat?
I just like chit chatting.
Okay.
If you want to ask questions about me, that's fine.
Well, you mentioned to me how you were raised. Did you just want to give a really rough outline of how you were raised in terms of worldview?
I kind of, I grew up as, I never thought about God, or I was, I was just a total agnostic, but I just never thought about it. I wouldn't have really had any opinion or said, I would have said, but probably not. I would lean towards, until I started, I started researching things and researching the arguments and stuff, and, thinking about it more.
Is it too delicate to talk about the ostensible religion of your parents and your ancestors, or no?
My parents are Jewish, but they're not. We just did on. God was. I don't. Neither of my parents probably believe in God, but never was it mentioned once. We just did. We went to. Being Jewish is a cultural thing. So
yeah.
We went on holidays and stuff.
So you're Jewish. So you have a good sense of humor, right?
Do all Jewish people have good sense of humor?
Most of them, yeah.
Oh, really? Then I don't know.
And you got lots of money, right?
Yeah, lots of money and a big nose.
And a big nose.
And I don't like to spend money.
Are you tight with your money?
Are those all the Jewish stereotypes?
I'm sure there are many more. Are you neurotic?
No.
You're not neurotic?
No, I don't think so.
I'm neurotic. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit neurotic.
I enjoyed your story. I listened to you on Converse Contender.
Oh, he's a sweet guy. That guy's a real sweetheart.
I told you. I heard your life story, which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Very different from mine.
What about? Can you just talk briefly about Christianity? What do you think of Christianity? Are you leaning towards it? Have you dabbled in it?
Dabbled. Well, I believe it's true.
Good.
But I'm by nature, I'm just not really a religious person and things like that.
Yeah.
So as I told you, I told you stuff before,
yeah.
But I believe it's true based on all the stuff that I've researched.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Congratulations. I mean, it's what a grace from God to believe in the Jewish Messiah. I mean, especially for you coming from a Jewish background, it's like, your ancestors were waiting and waiting for the Jewish Messiah to come, and then sadly a bunch of the Jews rejected the Messiah and they just keep pretending like he never came. But you come along in in the 21st century, and all of a sudden now we have a reconnection in your bloodline to the true, real Messiah. Like, do you not feel the impact of that coming from a Jewish background? Like, that's major.
Not really. Yeah.
It's the Messiah. It's like you found the Messiah. Wow. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Do you pray at all?
A little bit, maybe. I'm not sure.
Have you changed your behavior ever since you found God and Christianity?
Yeah.
Have you changed your behavior?
Yeah, I have tried. Definitely.
Go ahead.
Certain things. I've tried to stop doing some things a lot less than. I've tried to stop them permanently, and there's a lot of things that are difficult, but.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know.
I heard your story.
Yeah, I've been a Christian as an adult. I've been a Christian for about 12 years. Well, 2009. You do the math. I guess it's almost 13 years now.
Yeah. Why did you drop out of high school?
I dropped out of high school just because I was not enjoying high school, and I was a rebel, and I didn't see the point of sitting in a fluorescent lit room. See,
for me, that's not an option to drop out of high school. I had to go to high school, no matter what. My parents would force it. I had to go to college too. So.
Well, I was working at a bar. I started working at a bar when I was underage. It was illegal, but I just got the job in a bar and started drinking a little bit.
Do you speak French?
Mais oui.
You say you're.
My French sucks, but I do speak French. And have you been to Quebec or have you been to Canada?
No, I haven't. But
it's a nice place. I mean, it's going downhill like a lot of places. It's going downhill. And did you want to mention where you're from? You're from the United States, right?
Yeah, I'm from Northern Virginia.
Okay. What's that like?
Oh, it's a nice place. It's probably one of the more wealthier suburbs of in the country. So
really,
I grew up in a middle class house, just a townhouse, but the suburb, it's the suburbs of DC where all the senators and the congressmen live, and I went to, I had a lot of. I used to play sports with a lot of the congressmen and senators' kids and stuff, and so.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really improved.
Do you have a lot of best friends that you've known since childhood, or have you lost touch with a lot of the childhood friends?
I have lost touch with my best friends. My best friends were in high school.
Okay.
I had a great high school experience, so those were the best days. But I lost touch once they got married, had kids, and everybody goes on their own direction. And
yeah. Are you hetero? You like women?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta ask. In this day and age, you gotta ask very carefully.
Okay.
You gotta ask.
Yeah.
I can't assume anything. I can't even assume your pronouns. He, she, Z.
It's the dumbest thing ever, pronouns. That's what I say. I had a bunch of comments telling me, like, I was arguing about it with people on the chat, kind of the chat comment section. And I always think of the atheist experience. They use the pronouns, but they're talking directly to the person. They have to say, "What's your pronoun?" But yet they're talking right to him. So
Yeah.
it's just like virtue signaling. We gotta know your pronouns.
It's vice signaling. It's not virtue. It's vice.
My pronouns are Z and Zer. What does that? What does that even mean? I don't even know.
I would say, I would just hand them a piece of paper with a really complicated set of rules of how my pronouns change throughout the course of the day and the week and the month and the year. Like, it's just like, this is my system. You have to cater to my mental illness. This is my mental illness, and you have to cater to it. And if you don't, then how dare you?
You have my exact same attitude. That's funny.
And when I mispronoun someone, it's like, well, that's my mental illness. I mispronoun everybody. I use their sex, right? Their biological sex to pronoun people. That's my mental illness. And if you don't cater it to it, then you're offending me, right?
Right. And you should get arrested and put in jail.
Yeah. Because anything goes. When it comes down to it, if you're just going to start catering to people's mental illnesses, I've got my own mental illness. I'm a Catholic, okay? So cater to that.
Yeah. I called into Skeptic, the show Skeptic Generation. Have you heard of that?
No.
It was two people who used to host Talk Heathen, which is the former atheist before the atheist experience, and one of the ladies goes by they.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't call her they.
Uh-oh.
And she hung up on me. So,
They hung up on you?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just say, look, I know you are legion because there are many demons in you, but I just address one demon at a time. That's why I use singular pronouns with you.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm giving you lots of tips and tricks here. You can really go to town next time. You're going to be very popular on the atheist experience.
Well, I'm never going to call her again, so it's pointless.
You're done with the show. You're done calling into the show.
Yeah, I would never talk to Matt. I mean, it's just pointless to go through anything. As he said, it's just a big game.
Yeah.
You could give him any. I troll him on his show, and he usually he has to delete me from the chat section.
Oh.
So, or his debates and stuff.
Otherwise, his feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know these people. I called in one time, and I have to say he was a bit rough with me in the way he treated me on the phone, but his staff were very courteous, and they were very courteous before and after, because they gave me permission to host the episode in an edited form on my podcast, and they don't normally do that. And I had a lot of his little minions coming and attacking me and saying, take this down, this is the property of Atheist Experience, and you need permission to do this. And I said, well, I have permission. And then I went and got the people that gave me permission to come on my channel and confirm that they gave me permission. So they were very cooperative in that way, and they didn't have to give me permission, and they didn't have to reinforce this among their rabid minions who were trying to attack me. So I think they went out of their way for me, and I do really appreciate that.
That's pretty. Why? I don't know. Why would they care if you have it on your channel?
Because they're very jealous. They want to maintain the property of the Atheist Experience. Like, I'm talking about the minions, the little people, the little fanboys and fangirls. They want to maintain every right and privilege, and how dare you if you go against the principles, and these are the rules, and you can't share this content, and da 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 da. And I said, well, I had permission to share the content, and and I got backed up on that, so it was pretty good. I was pretty impressed by the organization that they gave me permission, first of all, and then they vouched for me. Like, that was pretty cool.
Your call was probably like close to 10 years, 7, 8 years ago.
I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the show was like, I think, Matt, he's gotten so much worse and worse over the years. I mean, just ruder and ruder. The show's become just more like Jerry Springer.
Is his quote unquote girlfriend a man?
More like a boy. Yeah, boy.
It's a boy. Is big age difference?
Yeah, he's probably she looks like in their 20s. She was actually her name's Arden. I think she's in their 20s.
Is it a biological boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
She hosts. You can see her. She hosts the shows.
Okay.
She hosts the trans. They have their own trans show.
Not that it matters, but what beauty rating do you give out of between 1 and 10 beauty rating for this person?
For boys, I guess she's kind of pretty, huh? I don't know.
For someone that hates pronouns, you certainly cater to this person. I would say he.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, and I have no animosity to them, and
They, them.
I can't imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine how difficult it would be to be
I
born
agree.
in
I
the wrong body. I mean, that's just got to be a painful thing.
Okay, so you do believe people have this is a real thing where they think that they're the opposite sex?
Well, I think that these are people probably who have, a lot of issues. They feel like in their head they feel like the sex that they aren't born.
Yeah.
They're born. They think, like that person you had, Brenda. She probably felt like she was a woman inside, but she was born in a man's body. So
Yeah.
I would say that's probably very painful. And,
Yeah.
Not just at how you look at yourself, how the world looks at you, but how you also feel about yourself. And people make fun of you. I'm sure it was very difficult for those people. So I feel a lot of compassion for them.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you have to cater to like everything that they want.
Yeah. My official policy is if they want if one of these people is talking to me directly and they want me to use a certain pronoun, I'll just try desperately to avoid using any pronouns whatsoever, like I did with Brenda. Or if I absolutely have to, I'm forced to use a pronoun, I'll use the pronoun of their choice, no matter how absurd, just to avoid offending them just because I care about them. And then behind their back, I'll just use their biological sex.
Right, that's fine. I mean, nobody cares. None of this matters in the end.
Yeah, I mean, what matters is that human being who's suffering, like you said, like you're emphasizing. That's what matters. The human being, a child of God who's suffering, and Christ died for that person. And that person is destined for heaven, hopefully. Do you believe in heaven and hell as two ultimate eternal outcomes from which you cannot escape? Never the twain shall meet. Do you believe in heaven and hell?
With my experiences that I had, now I do.
Good. Without that belief, I don't think you can have objective, absolute morality, because, I mean, if everyone ends up in heaven, then it's just a different and more or less interesting path to heaven, ultimately. That's it. So there can be no morality. It's like, hey, I'll meet you in heaven. I'm just going to take this dark path where I take advantage of every human and I get pleasure at my own expense. And yeah, it's a darker, longer path to heaven, but I'll meet you there. I'll see you there later. I'm taking a more interesting path than you. And you cannot judge me. You cannot judge me because there is no morality.
Yeah, I've heard you talk with some of your atheists. And I remember I heard you talk when you were... I guess you're very, very young. You said you used to scam people.
Yep.
What would you do? You were young.
Fraud.
You would sell things, or you said you were good.
I worked for the mafia. My first job after I left home was with the mafia. I was selling things that people, like I was selling trinkets at very high price because I had promised them all kinds of things, trips and jewelry and all these sorts of things that they had won. So they buy these trinkets that are worthless for their business, like pens and key tags and these sorts of things. And then the prize that I promised them is completely exaggerated. And so they get some worthless prize.
Oh, man.
And it's just, this was a fly-by-night organization. They would open shop, close up shop, reopen shop under a different name, close shop, reopen, close, reopen, close. So the cops could never really prosecute them.
So you were a good salesperson.
Very good salesperson. Yeah, I was a very, very good salesperson. Yeah.
Well,
that's one of my shady experiences, but just basically lying, cheating, and stealing. But the stealing part was usually through fraud, not through directly like shoplifting. I'm the worst shoplifter there ever was. I think I tried once, And it's like I'm so awkward. I'm like so obvious. It's like it may as well have like red lights flashing all around me. Like I'm just that awkward when it comes to like try trying not to be seen as I shoplift. I tried to shoplift a chocolate bar once in a grocery store. It made such a scene. My wife was embarrassed.
Why would you do that when you had to buy a chocolate bar? You can't just buy
I
that.
just wanted to try. I just wanted to try it. Like, I mean, you know, I just wanted to try it, and I think I did get away with it. Later, I stole I stole dental floss from the pharmacy, but it was like, you know, it's just like, hey, let's try and see if I can do this, and it's just like I'm just really awkward at trying to shoplift.
I tried to shoplift a piano. It didn't go right, but at least they were on to me, and it didn't fit through the door. So I was like, what do you think?
Well, you may laugh, but have you seen the rash of brazen thefts from stores in California or wherever it was in the States? Have you seen these people just walking in, grabbing a bunch of stuff and walking out? This was happening, I think, last summer or the summer before.
It's terrible. I mean, come on. These people are trying to run businesses.
Yeah.
Make money.
Well, that chocolate bar and that dental floss, I'll have to make up for that somehow.
Have you ever heard of Blue Lives Matter?
No, but I want to join them.
You never heard of Blue Lives Matter?
No. Is that for cops?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard of it.
I always thought it was the Blue Man Group.
Yeah. That's what I thought at first, but yeah, it's for the cops. Yeah.
No, that's just a joke. See if I can ever become a stand-up comedian.
Are you standing right now? We can't tell.
No, I'm sitting, so it won't work.
So the other day we spoke, and you mentioned GSP and UFC, MMA, and all this sort of thing.
Yeah,
and I was trying to remember the name of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, and then I just today I remembered it.
Who is it? Okay, you didn't remember.
No. I did. I had it in my memory bank. Just give me a second here. Carlos Newton.
Oh yeah, I know Carlos Newton.
Yeah. Sweetheart Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian. He's Canadian. He fought Anderson Silva, and he got knocked out by a knee.
Oh.
You can watch that. It's a good fight. Yeah, he's really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he got knocked out by Matt Hughes in the UFC. You should watch that one. That's a classic.
Oh, Matt Hughes is one of my least favorite personalities in all of MMA. I'm sorry to say.
You know, he got hit by a train. Did you know that?
I'm sorry to hear that. No.
Oh yeah, he got in a serious train accident, and
is he alive?
He's still alive, but he's not. I don't think he speaks that well.
I'm sorry to hear that. I shouldn't speak ill of him then.
No, if somebody's hit by a train, you can't speak ill of him.
Yeah, my thoughts and prayers go to him and his family. That's tragic. But why was he in the way of a train? That seems odd.
I don't know the whole story.
Okay.
So you can look it up.
Yeah.
But his fight versus Carlos Newton's, it's a classic one where he puts him on top of the cage.
Okay.
Then he bangs him down. Carlos Newton had him in a triangle. You know the triangles.
Oh.
And then he bangs him on the floor and he knocks him out.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah. Do you remember the early fights?
Which one, Pride or UFC?
No. I'm talking about like UFC 1 through 20 or whatever, like the earliest events.
Yeah.
The guy with the one boxing glove, and the sumo guy.
Yeah, that was the very beginning.
Did you like Tank Abbott?
I mean, I didn't really watch those.
You didn't watch the early ones so much?
What made me curious about the UFC, I was always curious. I had heard about this guy Hoist Gracie, and I didn't know who he was.
Amazing!
But I heard he beat everybody.
Yeah.
And then I heard there was this guy Matt Hughes, who is the new best guy, and they were gonna fight, and then Matt Hughes ended up beating Hoist Gracie, and And now, so it just showed how the sport had evolved past just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then I started watching, just the small ones. Then I became a big GSP fan when after his first fight with Josh Koscheck.
Ah,
He was in Montreal, and he came out. He had just lost to Matt Serra,
yeah.
and he just came out of the entrance in his like kimono, and he had like a karate, the bandana on, and he was super pumped, and so that's when I became I thought, oh man, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Wow.
so big fan.
That's like the golden age right there you're talking about. And
I met him once too.
no way.
Yeah, well, he was doing a seminar down here, and I said I had to go.
Wow.
See it, so.
Did you speak with him one-on-one or?
No, I just just shook his hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Strong handshake.
Probably, yeah.
Very cool. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, there's so many amazing athletes. It's mind-boggling. And so many gentlemen. You got your creeps in there too, but so many gentlemen because they have the martial arts, that dignity that comes with the martial arts if they take the martial arts seriously.
I'm not really into I don't like hero worship, so like I don't like people are just people, no matter what they do,
They're just people, but they're good people and bad people. They're nice people and crappy people, right?
Right. But I don't want to worship someone because they're great at basketball or football. A lot of people, whatever they say, oh, this guy, everybody loves celebrities and stuff, and
yeah,
I don't like that. I think the true heroes are people we don't know. We don't know their name.
Some guy named Joe.
David Ross.
Nah.
He's a hero. You have a more interesting story than almost all of them.
Nah. More sordid.
What was that? How long were you a solipsist?
I would say it was a very brief very brief moment. Like it was probably a couple of months. Because it's intolerable. It's too heavy. Like it's just too heavy. It's a dark place.
You had a sister and a family and all the people you talked to didn't you have to talk to people?
Yeah, that's just part of the show. I mean, the whole fantasy production of the solipsist, right? Anyone that is a hard solipsist, as I was, has to account for the fact that he or she seems to be lost in a world of their own creation, like in a theater production of their own creation with all the extras. And believe it or not, it's a very dangerous thing to do because, I can fall into psychosis, but I can still enter into the solipsistic mindset very, very easily. All I need to do is go back to seeing people as extras or actors in my theater, and it just brings me right back into that mindset, and it's just hilarious. Like now that I'm not a solipsist, it's actually really, really funny to snap back into that solipsist mindset because I see everyone just as these NPCs in my video game, right? Like I don't know if you play video games, but they're these non-player characters that are just going through the motions, all for the sake of me. Obviously, it's a very narcissistic and self-centered worldview.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah,
you've seen that, right?
Yeah. But in the Truman Show, they were real people that were catering to another real person to put on the theater. But yeah, it's like that. But in hard solipsism, these people have no existence whatsoever. They're a figment of my imagination. It's just pixels in a hologram. That's it. No depth, no reality. Any beauty, any intelligence, any creativity that these pixelated holograms have is just me. Right? So if I see beauty, it's my beauty. If I see joy, it's my joy. If I see sorrow, it's my sorrow. If I see intelligence, it's my intelligence. Whatever it is. It all comes from me.
you could just go and touch anybody you wanted, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
no big,
Feels so
right?
real.
No, but you're like, too bad you're in my video game, so I can do what I want, right?
Well, I mean, I was not bold. I was not that emboldened because I was still, think about it. Like when I fell into hard solipsism, it's a bit of a shock. Like, oh my God, I am God. I'm the creator of everything. And then I'm like, well, what about all the consequences that I've already lived? Like, I know if I stick my hand in the fire, it hurts. I know if I offend some big guy that's stronger than me, he's gonna knock me around. I know if I
You should tell them who you are. You're God. You can't do that.
yeah,
You know who I am. I created everything.
yeah.
You think you're gonna touch me? You're nuts.
But I didn't have time or the inclination to play with it in that way. It was more just like, what is going on, and how did I become so lost, and how lonely is this, being the only being in the universe. And not only that, but not only am I the only being, I'm a disembodied being who's just pretending to have a body. My body is no more real than your body, whoever is out there, because the material universe has no substance. It's just illusion. So it's not too far from what the Buddhists and some of the Eastern religions teach. So it's not that crazy. They're like, half the planet believes this, right? They believe they are the one mind, and separation is illusion, literally. Like, I have a good friend now who believes that. He believes that there is actually no difference between any of us because we are all just that one mind. So this is the Eastern philosophical position of, I would say, half the planet.
Oh, okay. Well, I never heard it before, so.
You're not educated on Eastern mysticism?
No, I'm not really educated very well. I only got to third grade, and then I dropped out.
Are you joking or are you serious?
I joined the mafia in the third grade.
You're joking now.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Selling pens and key tags, right?
What was that? I used to run a cucumber store where we only sold cucumbers. Hello?
Extra large cucumbers. So
we had a monopoly on cucumbers, and we'd sell them. And whenever if people wanted a cucumber, they'd come to our store.
Did you pickle them?
Yeah, we pickled them.
You pickled your customers? Are you serious?
Pickled them?
Yeah, you pickled your customers?
What does that mean?
I'm just kidding.
I don't even know what that means.
Because you said a lot of people would come to our store to buy cucumbers, and I said, did you pickle them? And you said yes.
I don't know what that means, pickle them.
Well, you soak them in vinegar.
Oh, okay. That's how you turn them into See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know how you make pickles.
Okay, what you got to do, Joe, go back to third grade, finish it up, and then do fourth grade, and then do fifth grade, and then until you have a PhD in pickles, and then we can talk.
A PhD in pickles. That would be good.
And pickling.
Yeah, I will.
So what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah, being lonely, that's a difficult thing.
Well, that's why I asked you, are you hetero and do you want a woman? Yes or no?
Oh, of course. What guy?
Okay, well, have you tried the apps?
No, well, actually, I mean, I enjoy my solitude to a large degree, but what I do with my job is I take care of people with special needs.
Nice.
So this is my real job, but so I had a guy with Down syndrome, and he lived with me. So he's lived with me for the last 4 years.
Wow.
And so I've worked with people with disabilities for the last probably like 17 years.
Wow.
Since I came back from the Peace Corps.
Amazing.
And the guy, so I've taken care of this guy with Down syndrome, and he has dementia, and so I've been with him 24 hours a day for the last four and a half years, and on Sunday he had a stroke.
Oh.
So like I found him on his bed, and he was so he's in the hospital now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's hard. So like I've spent the last almost 5 years with him, and I had breakfast, lunch, dinner with him. He's basically my best friend, so He's probably not going to recover. So now I see I'm just by
Oh.
myself in my apartment, and I'm like, oh man, it's lonely.
What's his first name so we can pray for him? Me and my listeners can pray for him.
His name's
I couldn't hear you. Did you cut out?
Bill.
Okay. So we'll pray for Bill and a miraculous recovery and many more years. I don't know how old he is or how long people with that condition are generally expected to live. I guess it's a shortened lifespan usually, right?
Yeah.
So sad. So sad. I'm so sorry for you and for him and his family.
It's hard, So
Does he have a family that you know of?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I take care of him, because he used to be close to his. I can't really talk about it too much.
No.
Because there's some legal things.
Of course. But we feel your pain. We're praying for you and for him, obviously, and that's pretty heavy.
If you had like 100 million listeners, then I could get in trouble. But since you probably don't have
small, it's a small, very small audience. Very small. It's getting smaller, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I started talking out against COVID and the vaccine, I noticed the numbers shrinking.
What do you?
Because the algorithm. Huh?
So, what are your opinions on the COVID and the vaccine?
That it's a cheap excuse for government overreach.
What, to get the vaccine? So you think you're against mandating the vaccine?
Yeah. I'm against mandating masks. I'm against mandating social distancing. I'm against mandating washing your hands. I'm against mandating anything. We're full-grown adults, and we know how to take care of those who are vulnerable, like Granny and little Billy. And we don't need the government to tell us to wash our hands and to wear a mask. We don't need that. We don't need the government babysitting us. Sorry.
Would you agree that the stores have a right to make their own policies?
Yeah, they could do what they want.
Right. And
they could do what they want. But that's not how this happened. This was not a grassroots movement. I'm sorry. It's not a grassroots movement. It's like you will get financial incentive if you go with the plan, and you'll be destroyed if you go against the plan. This is not a grassroots movement. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care either way. I think everybody has the right to their opinion, and whatever. And like, I'm not some guy who says you have to get shot. I think you should have the right not to get the vaccine. I just have the problem with when people, like, if the business has a rule that you have to wear a mask, or the airplane has the rule that you have to wear a mask, then you go by their rules. So
yeah.
But if you don't want to wear it, don't go in. It's only like 5 minutes. I feel bad for the people who have to work and wear the mask for 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, I work in construction, and a lot of the places that I go to pick up construction materials, the staff don't wear masks, and they don't care if we wear masks.
Yeah, I mean now, the pandemic.
No, but we still have a mandate here. It's still the policy of the government or whatever. Like, it's still enforced here in Quebec, Canada, until ostensibly the end of April, and they may extend it, but they keep, here in Quebec, it's one of the worst places in the world for the mandates. Just the tyrannical overreach of the government is one of the worst places.
What do you think of Jordan Peterson?
He's okay. I feel sorry for him. I think his worldview is very sad and pathetic, and I think he's a sad man.
Right.
I don't think he's particularly bright when it comes to metaphysics.
What's his worldview?
I think it's nihilism.
His view is nihilism?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I think nihilism, if you're an atheist, is pretty rational.
Yeah, I think he's an atheist, and I think he's a nihilist. That's what I think. I don't follow him. I wish him well. I think he's a nice enough guy. I don't understand why there's all the hype when he can't answer the simplest of questions about metaphysics, but maybe it's just not his strength, right?
What about Mike Myers?
I don't know him. Is he the comedian?
Yeah, he's from Canada. I'm just naming Canadians.
I love The Mini-Me guy and Dr. Evil?
Yeah, Vern Troyer. Is he Canadian? No, he's not Canadian. He's dead.
Who?
Mini-Me. He died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he died a few years ago.
No, but I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking about the characters. I love that they went from the dark side to the good side.
Ah, okay.
That's what I like.
What about Norm Macdonald? Do you know him?
Yeah, I think he's very funny.
Okay.
And very edgy. You're gonna ask me about Jim Carrey next?
Oh yeah, I forgot. He's Canadian too. I'm just thinking about my favorite Canadians.
Do you like Jim Carrey?
Oh sure. Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, he was probably one of my favorites a long time ago. I think he's
Good, let's just say when he's good, he's very good, and he's over the top.
Some classic movies when you go back. I mean, if you like those stupid kind of movies.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Do you like Mel Brooks movies?
Spaceballs. That's one. I mean, that was a long time ago, but
yeah. I like stupid movies. I do like stupid movies. And my friend Matthew in Australia was talking to me today about rom-coms, romantic comedies, and Hugh Grant. I like rom-coms, and I like Hugh Grant a lot.
Oh, really? Ah, cool.
You?
Not particularly.
No.
No, I don't hate him. I don't really like him.
Not your thing. Probably because you don't have a woman in your life.
Sure, I know. I should get one.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like they do have these apps now where you can go and meet women. I don't know what it's like. Maybe it's all.
You have the mail order bride magazine?
No, I can't believe you remember that. That's a tiny detail.
Yeah, I remember tiny detail.
That one stuck in your brain, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
I barely looked at it. I didn't find the women attractive, I'm sorry to say.
All right, well, I'm going to order one, okay?
Yeah. You could probably do that. But just be very, 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 very careful.
It's terrible. It's evil. That's not a good thing. You know, these are people.
No, it's horrible.
I was just joking.
It's horrible.
See, I have a good sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm funny.
Of course.
So, what point did you say, well, I'm going to become, did you go from atheism to convince you that God exists?
Well, it was the blackness and the existential angst of hard solipsism that was really weighing on me. And then I'm surprised you haven't heard this part of my story yet, but I was reading Rene Descartes' discourse on, or meditations on first philosophy or whatever it's called. And I just understood, because of what Descartes was saying about God, that I understood at that time that God is God and that I'm not God. And it was such a relief. And I remember the exact moment when I was laying in bed reading Rene Descartes. And I went from hard solipsist to monotheist. It was amazing. So I was so happy, and I'm still very happy. I'm still ecstatic.
Good.
But you must have had a moment in time where you went from non-theist to monotheist. When was that?
Well, I started watching a lot of William Lane Craig debates and stuff.
Okay.
And, so I started watching started watching Atheist Experience, which is just dumb, but listening to William Lane Craig and all these guys, Ed Fezer and a lot of the Phoenix and a lot of these. But I started listening to the philosophical arguments. And
do you know Peter Kraft?
I know the name, but I don't know him personally. Not really.
You should check out his stuff. His apologetics pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard him. So the contingency argument is my favorite, which...
Yeah.
So, we can't have this infinite series of contingent things, right? We can't just go back, what caused this, what caused this, what caused this, what caused this forever, right?
No.
For multiple reasons. Because we can't get an actual infinite from, a finite number of things, right? We can't... Yeah. You always have a finite number. There's no such thing as an
actual infinite.
Right. And you can't traverse even if there was an infinite, it goes on forever. So you would never be able to arrive at this actual point in time.
Yeah.
Well, these are arguments for like the beginning of the universe too. But fact is, like everything can't be contingent. So that means there must be something at the very beginning that is necessary.
Yep.
I thought about God. I've thought about God. I'm fascinated by God. The most fascinating thing about God to me is that He's self-existent.
Yeah.
I also thought about that God couldn't have thought even one thought before He created, because then then there'd be time. God has to be timeless, because if God was in time, you'd have an infinite regression of time. Nothing can be. I think I wrote to you. You can't have nothing can have an infinite temporal past.
Yeah.
Because you never arrive at any point in time. Are you getting that?
Yep. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Time is a creature. That's what you need to remember. Time is a creature. God is the creator of time, and time is a creature.
So, but that means God never even thought one thought before He created the universe.
Well, God had precisely one thought, and it's not in time. That thought is timeless, right?
But a thought takes time.
Not for God. Not for God. God's creatures. My ways are not your ways, says the Lord. So our thoughts are not God's thoughts, says the Lord. And this is why we need to take God's point of view to understand time and space, and the way we think and the way our will acts, and compare and contrast it with God's thoughts and God's will. And it's a category error. It's a category error that the atheists make all the time. So we theists, we monotheists, have to emphasize the sharp distinctions, right? God is not subject to change at all. He's absolutely simple, not composed of parts.
Right. He can't be composed of parts.
No.
I don't know how you have a thought though without time.
Well, God has time. God has all the time because He's the author of time, but time is finite, right? It could be potentially infinite, meaning that He can let time go on as long as He wants it to go on.
Well, I'm talking about in the past. Nothing can have an infinite temporal past.
Well, there are theologians who believe that God could have, if He wanted to have a material universe that's co-eternal with Him. I don't believe that, but certain theologians do argue for that. I don't believe that, and you don't believe that. But
No.
God alone knows for sure. But I mean, I think that philosophically we can rule that out. But there were theologians, very famous theologians like St. Thomas of Aquinas, who believe that.
I'm one of the great theologians too. You know. Me and Aaron Ra.
Yeah. What do you think? What did you think of my first talk with Aaron Ra? Did you enjoy that?
My favorite part was when you told him, "You're a great entertainer, but you're not much of a thinker," which couldn't be more obvious.
Oh, the poor guy.
But he's only an entertainer in the sense that, it's like Jerry Springer entertainment. He's just going to yell and say stupid stuff, and then he says he's smarter than all the great, the Thomas Aquinas and the St.
Augustine and all those guys.
Some of the great minds. He thinks he's smarter than William Lane Craig. I don't know if you're a fan.
Yeah.
Of William Lane Craig. I like William Lane Craig.
How's his health holding up?
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not in contact with him. So.
Well, I know, but you see, everyone I mentioned, you seem to say, "Oh, he hit by a train. He was dead. He's this."
Yeah.
I got to be careful who I speak ill of here. You're gonna tell me, unless you're just pulling my leg every time.
About what? No, you look up Matt Hughes. It's true.
Poor guy. Yeah. I mean, I have to admit, I have a lot of sympathy for Aaron Ra, and he does pronounce it Aaron, not Aaron.
Why do you have sympathy for him?
I think he's a sweet guy. I think he's a real nice guy. I like him.
I don't really like him.
To each his own. To each his own. It's all about chemistry. It's all about the chemistry. Like, I'm sure if I showed you 10 different pictures of 10 different random humans, you'd have your favorite. You could rank them. Like, I like this guy's face. I don't like her face. I like her face, but I don't like his face, or whatever. You could have a sort of instantaneous chemistry or lack thereof with
I think you had a really good cordial conversation with him, so it was good. I liked him. He wasn't a a jerk to you or anything, but
yeah, he's
just
very nice to me.
On a lot of stuff, he acts like a fool, but
Yeah.
I really dislike Dillahunty though. I can't stand that guy. So
poor guy. The poor guy. He's probably not too happy.
I'll tell you what happened with Dillahunty. I'll tell you how it goes. So he probably got on the atheist. When he first started on the atheist experience, he was probably not. He was fat and bald like me. And
are you fat?
No, I'm not fat.
Okay. So you said fat and bald like me, but you meant fat, comma, and bald like me. Okay.
Yeah, I don't sound like a fat guy, do I?
No.
The one thing I hate about myself is my voice. That's the worst. I can't stand. I'm short though.
That's okay.
I'm like mini me. Only 2 feet tall.
Are you that short? How tall are you?
I'm 2'6".
Oh, it's so cute.
I'm 5'7".
There you go. Average height. Average height.
That's not average height.
Average height for the pygmies.
Yeah, I was average height when I lived in Africa, so that was good. But
oh yeah, you were in Africa, weren't you?
Yeah, for a couple of years. So
anyway, you were saying about how Dillahunty went sour.
Yeah, well, he got on the show, then he probably gained a little following, and then he became a big celebrity in the atheist community, probably, most likely. And then, even when you become celebrities, even in these little communities, you probably get, people telling you, wanting your autograph, and even women maybe they're throwing themselves, who knows, so, they have conventions and stuff. And then, your head gets bigger and bigger. Everybody tells you how great you are. Don't you think stuff like that happens?
Yeah, for sure. It's called worldliness.
I'm fascinated by like fame, by what it can do to your head.
It'll destroy you.
It's like a drug,
Yeah.
People telling you how great you are, and everybody wanting your autograph, and like being like super duper famous.
Yeah.
I think they probably really think they could get away with like anything.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a crazy world we're living in. Are you more optimistic or pessimistic about the way the world's going?
I mean, yeah, I would say it's probably going worse, but I don't really care. No, I mean, I think, I think I would say America is getting worse as a place.
Yeah.
I think I think pornography is one of the worst things.
Disgusting, evil, demonic.
It is. It's bad.
It's disgusting.
I think well, you can just look at the culture, and it's gone downhill. I mean, if people from the 1950s looked at what they have in 2020, it's just crazy.
Oof.
I like living in Africa. I lived in like a rural village.
Yeah.
So when I was in the Peace Corps, and I had no electricity and no running water.
Wow.
And life was just super simple.
Yeah.
So I had no television, stuff like that. And
would you eat?
I had a house lady, and she would sometimes like kill chickens for me.
Wow.
And I know you had a tough time killing a chicken, didn't you?
I don't remember that story. I'm
making up stories in your life.
Yeah, I did go fishing once a couple of years ago, and I felt really guilty about the little tiny fish that I caught. Like, I was torturing this poor thing by yanking it out of the water, and I had a hook through his cheek, and I just felt horrible.
Yeah, see, you're a good guy.
Oh, but I still eat meat. I should stop. I haven't been eating meat during Lent because we're leading up to Easter's next weekend, and I gave up meat for Lent, and it's very easy. I don't need to eat meat, so maybe I'll go full on veggie. What do you think about that?
Yeah, good for you.
What about you?
What do you do? Oh, what about me?
Do you kill chickens on a regular basis?
No, I don't.
Your neighbor brings them over for you.
Well, when I was in Uganda, I didn't eat any day, but occasionally I'd eat chicken or,
But was the food good? Was it tasty over there? That's what I'm asking.
I didn't like it that much, but
No.
like when I originally got there, I was 180 pounds, and then within 9 months I was 140 pounds. I got really sick a bunch of times, so
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
You lived in a bunch of different countries, so you've seen.
Only Europe and North America. It's very non-exotic. The most exotic was Greece.
Oh yeah, well it's still interesting to see a different culture.
Yeah, beautiful. It's my favorite country that I've been to.
They have good food.
Yeah, very good. The food was good in Italy too.
How did you meet your wife?
She's Greek, but she's Canadian born, and we met in a bar. I've told this story a couple times, but we met in a bar in the university where I was studying physics, and she was kind of showing interest in me, and she had caught my eye 2 years earlier, but I had never run into her since. And then she spoke to me this one day. I'm like, oh, this is that woman that I saw 2 years ago. And she spoke to me, and then I just kept obsessing over her, and my friends kept saying, oh, you like that girl, don't you? I'm like, no, I don't like her. And I was in denial, but she kept pursuing me. And then eventually I had a dream where I had to decide to be with her or to lose her forever. And I decided to kiss her in my dream. And then the next time I saw her, I was in love with her. I opened my heart, and the rest is history. We got married within 3 months. Moved in together, got married, and then went on our honeymoon, which lasted for years, traveling around Europe.
Were you a solipsist even after you married?
No. I was only a solipsist at the very end of my atheism. So we had been married for 15 years by that point. We're married 27 years now.
But you were a solipsist before you married her.
I was no. I was only a solipsist once we were deep into our marriage.
Well, then that must have been weird, because she must have been like, what's happening to you?
Well, she would hear me, going through all kinds of different worldviews because I was studying philosophy as a hobby. So I would be talking about, oh, I believe this and I believe that, and it would depend on what I was reading. But as I got deeper and deeper into these different philosophies that I was reading, the German idealism really affected me to the point where I didn't believe in material reality anymore. And then I had no reason to believe in other people as individuals. And then just one thing led to another. And then I had this understanding, this intuitive understanding that life is eternal. Because I had gone through a very long period of pantheism, where I thought everything is divine, everything is God. Even the dust and the sand and the...
Do you have kids?
No kids, unfortunately, but I'm open. It's too late now. I mean, we're in our mid-50s now. It's not going to happen. It's physically impossible to happen, but no.
Not physically impossible.
Nothing's impossible, but it's not going to happen. And plus, my wife hates kids, and she doesn't want kids, so...
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
If you hate kids, don't have them.
Her maternal instinct isn't exactly ideal.
Do you fear death?
No. I crave death.
Really?
I crave death, yeah.
Wow, I fear death.
Okay, well, you need to get closer to God and Jesus Christ, and then you're going to lose your fear of death. I mean, if you were to put a mouse in this room, like a physical rodent in this room, you would see the fear of death in me, because I'm deathly afraid of any rodents. Okay,
You're
so it's
afraid
not...
of mice?
Yeah, I'm afraid of mice and rats. So, I mean, am I afraid of death? No, I mean, no, I'm not in theory, but I mean, if Mr. Death came knocking on my door, I'd probably crap my pants, right? So you need to take it with a grain of salt when I say I'm not afraid of death. I used to be neurotically afraid of death, and I'm no longer neurotically afraid of death, okay? So,
Well, I had like 50 mice in my house, so you would hate to live
oh, did you get rid of them?
Yeah, they were coming in. I had to put glue traps, and I caught probably close to 50.
Oh my God. Well, you know, we lived in a place that had a lot of mice and they were crawling on us at night and everything like that. And I'd wake up in the morning and the sink would be like full of mice and it was just disgusting. And it was really bad. But I got one of those sticky traps and the mice, they're so cute and sweet that I couldn't kill them. I just had to like detach them by putting oil on the sticky mat so they could wriggle their way off. And then I just released them on the other side of the street because they're so cute.
That's what I did, but I didn't know that you could. I didn't know you use oil to.
That was my intuition, and it worked.
I just pull them off the glue, and they die.
Oh!
I felt bad for them because I didn't want them to suffer for like 10 hours on the glue trap.
Oh!
At least they die, instantly. But
next time, use the oil technique.
Sorry, but yeah, I don't have them anymore. So
you killed them all, you.
Well, I don't want to live in a house full of mice, but yeah. I'm scared of snakes.
Oh my God, so am I. Don't even mention it. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about death. It's like it's not the end but the beginning. And hopefully I'll go to heaven. How confident are you you're going to go to heaven instead of hell?
I'm not confident at all.
Oh, come on now. Let's take some steps in the right direction then. Let's get you on the right path so you can be confident, okay?
Can you talk to God for me?
Yep.
You tell him, hey, I can talk to this great guy, Joe. He's not a bad guy. He's really he's just not a man.
You're gonna have to take some steps and I would recommend, me, if you've listened to my podcast for a while now, you would know that I would recommend go to the sacraments, go to confession, go to the Eucharist. And to do that, you're going to have to become either Catholic or Orthodox. I would say Catholic, but, that's a long journey for you and it would require some graces. I'll be praying for you.
Yeah, if I became Catholic, my mother would she would die.
Ooh.
I told you, being Jewish is very important to our family, or my parents. I don't have any brothers and sisters, so.
Okay, but you said they didn't practice their religion, but it's just culturally important to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very important. So that would if I became Catholic or something, they would probably lose their mind.
Ooh. Well, you could become a practicing Jew. That would impress them, and you could,
I can't be three religions. I can't be a Muslim. Okay. I can't be Orthodox Jew, and I can't be Amish. Do you know why?
No.
I can't grow a beard.
Have you tried?
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't have much facial hair.
Lucky you.
That's a good reason not to. That's why I can't become those. So.
That's funny. So, listen, it is late. I'm going to have to go hang out with my wife before bedtime.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk the rest of the night.
No, the sleepover, we'll do a sleepover some other time, though.
All right, it was nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you. And listen, Joe, we're gonna talk again and reach out. We're in touch by email all the time, so it's not a problem. Great, and we're gonna do a group chat. You, me, and whoever, if you want.
What a group chat? What goes on in a group chat?
People just banter. You can and you can also you can send me some interesting guests if you want. Like if you have a friend that's a Scientologist or whatever, I can talk to him about his faith. Or if you have a friend who's a hardcore Jew, that would be fun to talk with that friend.
You're my best friend, David.
Well, okay. I do appreciate your friendship, and it's a real delight to meet you. And I'll be praying for you, and I'll be praying for your friend Remind me of his name. Is it Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be praying for Bill, and give him and his family my best. And I don't know if he's conscious at all or not, but
Thanks, David. It was really nice talking to you.
my heart goes out to him and to you. And again, I appreciate you reaching out to me, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks, David.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye.
God bless. Bye.